Yeah, listener, I think it will happen. I mean, Pereira was Dana White's man, right? Always saving the show. So I definitely think they're going to allow him to run it back. What this comes down to, guys, is there's a blue ocean in MMA called wall fighting. Fact of the matter, I have a buddy named David Kim. He's the double champ, flyweight and bantamweight in fierce fighting. And he said to me, Derek, I can out wrestle a D1 wrestler with the wall. Why is that? Because, guys, there's different functions involved there when you know how to place your body and use your body and whatnot. So a guy might be a D1 wrestler, but he's used to, rolling on a mat without any walls at all, right? Suddenly when there's a wall there, it becomes a whole different martial art. It's why the Diaz brothers said martial arts should be or MMA should be in a ring. They didn't want to learn wall fighting, and they never did, and it cost that team a lot. I've talked about that a lot. I didn't really get much into wall fighting until I went down to Blackline MMA, which was kind of an alliance affiliate, and I met Jason Lambert. Jason Lambert was a wall fighting connoisseur. Why is that? Because Jason Lambert was like a 5'9", 5'8", light heavyweight guy. So he couldn't kickbox anybody. His limitations were there. So he had to push them up against the fence and bully him until he got him down to the mats, where he could ground and pound him and use his excellent jiu-jitsu. And I learned a lot of skills from Jason. And what Jason and I used to do, and what he told me him and Joey Beltran used to do when they were training actively together as teammates, is they'd come in on a day and it's wall fighting day, and that's all they did. So many teams. The Scrap Pack was like this. And so is the Muay Thai team I coach with now. Like, they go through striking and then they do wall fighting almost as an afterthought. Well, listen, when you've burnt yourself out with the stand-up, then you go to wall, you're not really training your best wall, and you'll never get as good at it as you should be, right? What you need to do is have a wall day. Now, my friend David, the one I mentioned from Fierce Fighting, double champ, at Agima, they have a wall night. They have Wednesday night, and they do wall wrestling because they know how important it is. But they're also a grappling-based school, right? So they get that really quickly. So the question is, what's going to happen? Pereira has to put aside his ego, and he has to learn wall fighting the same way he learned takedown defense. Now, will he do that? Your guess is as good as mine, listener. The hardest thing in martial arts is when you're an expert at something, and I'll tell you, I'm an expert striker, and I was an expert striker by the time I got out of prison the first time. So it's very humiliating. It was very humiliating to me to learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Now, years and years on, after me quitting and coming back and quitting and coming back and doing another prison sentence, I'm finally getting comfortable with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But it took a long time, and it was very hard for me to go from I can beat up this UFC fighter to on the ground, I can't beat up this dad who goes to Jiu-Jitsu for fun. That was very hard for me. And so the question is, will Pereira check his ego and work solely on that wall? Because, listen, guys, the one thing about wall fighting that is nice, there's a limited scope of it, right? Like, jiu-jitsu is almost limitless. Striking in its own way is limitless-like, but still limited. But wall fighting is the most limited of all the arts. Like, if you're gonna have to learn one last, that's the one you gotta want to learn. And let's hope Pereira does it, man. If he does, he beats Hank Goliath. If he doesn't, he loses. Read my book, Warrior of the